A basic bodice is the foundation to every outfit, and it is very important to know how to properly draft a perfect basic bodice. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we will be learning how to draft a perfect basic bodice. Please, I'll need everyone to pay attention to this particular tutorial because some of the things I'm about to explain in this video are what so many designers do not know before now. So please kindly pay attention. Alright, so mate, I started by drawing my starting line. That is where I'm going to be starting with my measurements from in this video. I labeled one side as the center front CF and the center back, which I labeled as CB because I'll be drafting both the front and back bodies together in this video. I will be dividing my pattern paper into two equal parts. One side will be for the front bodies and the other side will be for the back bodies. The next thing I'll be doing now is to measure from my starting line. I'll be measure the shoulder to nipple, the shoulder to under bust, and the shoulder to half length. Please, while taking your measurements for a perfect basic bodice, it is advisable to take the front half length and the back half length separately. This is because the front half length is usually longer than that of the back. You know, the bust usually lifts the front up, so if you use the same half length for the front and the back, it might become shorter at the front. I hope you guys understand what I try to explain here. Alright, so mate, now I'll go ahead and take the shoulder measurement. For this video, I'm working with a shoulder measurement of 14 inches, which is 14 divided by 2. It gives me 7 inches, and I will be adding 0.5 inch for seam allowance. For the neck depth and neck width, I will be using 3 by 3 inches, which is the standard measurement for neck depth and neck width, but you can also do your alteration depending on the style you are making. There is a measurement for this also. You can do your bust divided by 12. That is the measurement for neckline. Now I'll place my curve on it and connect that together. The next thing I want to do now is to go back to my shoulder measurement, and I'll come down by 1.5 inches for this front bodies. Remember, I am drafting the front bodies first, so I'll come down by 1.5 inches and I'll connect that to the neck width, as you can see me do in this video. And that is our shoulder slant for the front bodies. Please, I will advise you not to skip any part of this video. Alright, so the next thing I'll be doing now is to go to the back bodies, and I'll be taking the shoulder to half length measurement. Remember, I said for a perfect basic bodies, you are going to be needing half length measurement for the front separately and that of the back separately. So for this back half length, I will be working with 15.5 inches, while for the front I used 17 inches. I know you are wondering, oh, would they be equal? Oh, she's using 17 inches for the front, 15.5 inches for the back. Just calm down and pay attention. I'll explain everything into detail in this video. All right, for the back, I'm going to be doing 3 inches by 1.5 inches for the neckline. Remember, you can always alter your pattern to whatever you want, but the standard measurement is 3 inches by 1.5 inches. So now I'll go ahead and place my curve just to connect them together. The next thing I want to do now is to take the shoulder length measurement, just like I did for the front. I will be using 7 inches plus 0.5 inch seam allowance, so that makes it 7.5 inches. Now for the shoulder slope, for the shoulder slant of this back bodies, I'm going to be using 1 inch instead of the 1.5 inches I used for the front bodies. This is because you want your outfit to sit perfectly on your shoulder, so that is why I'm using 1 inch for the back bodies, and I used 1.5 inches for that of the front. All right, for the chest line, which is also the armhole line, the measurement is bust divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches or 1 inch. If you are making a sleeveless dress, you can just add 1 inch. All right, so to do this, I'm going to be measuring this from the back bodies. Remember, we used different shoulder slope for both the front and the back bodies, and you wouldn't want your armhole to be too wide, so that is why I'm taking this from the back bodies. You are going to start your measurement from where the shoulder slope ends, and to get a straight line across to the front bodies, I'm just going to raise the tape up to the shoulder line so that I can know the measurement there and transfer it to the other side just to get my perfect straight line. Another thing you can also do is to just add 1 inch to your armhole measurement. After calculating your armhole measurement, you can just add 1 inch so as to get your chest line. Remember, we came down by 1 inch as the shoulder slope for the back bodies, so you can just add down 1 inch back to it. That will give you your chest line. Now go ahead and label the chest line, the bust point, the half length, and for the back I'll just label the chest line and the half length, since that is all we need for the back bodies. Okay, the next thing I'll be doing now is to mark out the zipper allowance. If you will be making a dress with probably eyelet or loop at the back, there will be no need for zipper allowance, but since this is a basic bodice, and usually every basic bodice do have a zipper, so I'm just going to mark my zipper allowance out and extend the neckline out, as you can see me do here. The next thing I want to do now is to connect the shoulder line to the chest line, which is also the armhole line, and I'm just going to mark the shoulder length measurement all through, just to make sure that I have a very straight line. I wrote a very faint line there for now because we are still going to have curve on the armhole so that we won't be having too many lines on our pattern. I repeated the same thing for the back bodice, and the next thing I will be doing now is to do our armhole curve. Now to get this curve for the back armhole, I'm just going to locate the middle of the armhole and I'll go in by 0.5 inch. I'll place my ruler and rule a line connecting from that shoulder slope to that point that I located, to that 0.5 that I came in by. I'm going to connect that line together now. And for the front bodies, I'll be placing my tape on the chest line and I'll go up by 3 inches. You can actually do 2 inches, but I'll be doing 3 inches. I'll go in by 0.75 instead of the 0.5 inch that I did for the back body. The essence of this is just to avoid any excess on your armhole. Yes, the next thing I'll do now is to connect from that shoulder slope to the point where I marked that 3 inches. Now to do our armhole curve, we'll need to impute our bust measurement, and the bust I'll be working with is 9 inches. That is 36 divided by 4. I'll go ahead and mark that now. Please feel free to add your seam allowance on your pattern if you want to, if that makes it easy for you. Now for the back bodies, for the bust, you are going to be adding extra 0.5 inch to the bust. I will explain this as we proceed. Now I'll place my curve on it and just draw out my curve. Since I have marked out the bust measurement, I'll repeat the same thing for the back bodies as well. Just place your curve and connect it to your bust measurement, as you can see me do in this video. All right, so the next thing to do now is to mark the waist measurement. I'll be using the waist measurement of 7 inches here. That is 28 divided by 4, and I'll be adding 1.5 inches to the waist measurement. This is for our dart intake. I'll be repeating the same thing for both the front and the back, but before then I want us to quickly do our back tightening. The reason for this back tightening is to avoid your zipper bulging at the back. So I'll measure from my center back. I'll be measuring 1 inch from that center back. From that line I am starting from, just repeat what I am doing. I'll be going in by 1 inch and I'll just locate the middle of my armhole at the back, just to know where to connect it. You can connect this line anywhere, but it just works perfectly that way. The middle of your armhole, you are just going to connect that 1 inch there. You are going to blend it in. Now this is where I will explain the reason I said you should add 0.5 inch to the bust measurement for the back bodies. Now can you see that after doing our back tightening, we've taken in like 0.5 inch from the chest line? Can you see? It is just to avoid our measurement from being shortened. All right, to take the waist measurement for the back bodies, I'm going to be starting from the 1 inch we took in for the back tightening. As you can see me do in this video, just do the same thing. And don't forget to add your dart allowance. Remember I said I'll be using 1.5 inches as my dart intake, so I'll be adding that to this waist measurement. And now it's time to do our dart intake. So I'll be going back to the front bodies now, and I'll be using the nipple to nipple measurement to do the dart intake. I'll just go to the shoulder to nipple point and mark the nipple to nipple measurement there, which is 4 inches. I'll be using 4 inches for these bodies. You can measure yours on your client. Now to do the dart intake, I'll place my tape and go in by 0.75 inch on both sides of that line, as you can see me do here. That was why I added 1.5 inches to the waist line. And if you'll be using 1 inch for your own darts, that means you'll be adding 1 inch to the waist measurements for your basic bodies. That makes it 0.5 inch on both sides for your dart intake. To do the dart intake for the back, please watch what I'm doing here very well. You are going to start from the center back, as you can see me do here, and still mark out that your nipple to nipple measurement, which is 4 inches that I used for the front bodies. You are going to mark that and you come down by 1 inch on your chest line. That is the standard measurement for that. That is how to do a dart for the back body. You are going to come down by 1 inch from your chest line, and just like I did for the front bodies, I'll still go out by 0.75 inch on both sides of the dart. That makes it 1.5 inches altogether. I'll go ahead now to connect them together. Please feel free to drop your questions in the comment section. I'll definitely respond to them. All right, so we're almost done with our basic bodies. Now I'll be doing the bust dart. The bust dart is what makes the front and the back bodies to be equal. Remember, we measured our front and back half length separately, and the front half length is longer than that of the back. Now the difference between the front half length and that of the back is the bust dart. If the difference you have is 2 inches, that means your bust dart is 2 inches. If yours is 1 inch, 2.5, that is going to be your bust dart. Whatever you have as the difference between your front half length and your back half length is your bust dart. The bust dart for this tutorial is 1.5 inches. I hope you can all see now. So that is just it. And lastly, I want to go ahead to replace our zipper allowance. Remember, I took out 1 inch from the center back the other time just to eliminate the zipper bulge. That means it would have affected our zipper allowance. So I'm just going to go back there now to measure it all over again. Can you see? I will be placing my tape on where we took out the zipper bulge and remark our zipper allowance. It is that simple. That means we are no longer going to have a straight line there because of the zipper board we tried to eliminate. And the lines you see me cross there was just to show us all that we'll be cutting that part out. We'll not be needing that part. So this is what our basic bodice looks like. If you are yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, now is the time to do that. And don't forget to like this video if you find it really helpful. We are not going to be cutting out yet because this pattern is what we are still going to use to do our corset tutorial, and I'm sure you wouldn't want to miss that. Thank you guys for watching. Bye. I'll see you in my next video.